You all can see my slides now. Welcome this afternoon. Thank you for joining us here for this presentation. Pardon me while I'm messing around with my windows and all of that. But we are here this afternoon to talk about a new resource for everybody that we're really excited about. They're new on-demand resources for conducting human research in the Research Learning Library. As you know, you probably heard over the last several months, we have been trying to, here at the Research Protection Program offices, we've been trying to get together some resources for everybody who is doing human research here at the Health Science Center. We rolled out our module for the required learning stuff a few months ago. You've probably been getting some messages and emails from us about that. And today we are starting the launch of our new self-service learning course. This is called a course just because that's what Canvas calls these units. It's not really a course in the sense that it's something that has a definite completion date. It's essentially a collection of resources that you can log into and access as you need them. If you're newer, you can find out the basics about conducting human research. If you've been around the block a few more times, maybe you just need a quick reminder for doing something that you don't do very often. And we're hoping to have a whole lot of different aids and things that will help everybody at every stage in their research learning career. Now I'm going to start this out with a disclaimer and a throwback for those of you who remember GeoCities as part of the internet, if you're as old as I am. This site that we've got going in Canvas is under construction, meaning that we've got a few things that we've rolled out, but there's much more to come. So, please come back from time to time and see what kind of resources we have added. We're expecting that we're going to be adding things over time and filling this out a lot more. If you have any suggestions for things that you would like to see on this website, please let us know. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later in this session. So how do you get to the Research Learning Library? Hopefully, if you've already been enrolled in the required training course, you should kind of already have an idea about this. But these are a few of the different ways that you can enroll in the course. The main one, if you're not enrolled to begin with, is you can go to the web address ce.utasca.edu/browse/research, and that will get you to the main resource, to the Learning Library page, where you can self-enroll in the course. Once you're enrolled, you can get back to it by going to this second website, utascace.instructure.com, and logging in. Once you're enrolled, you will also get an email from the Canvas catalog, as shown in that third frame there, and you should be able to get to the course directly from there. But mainly you want to get to that continuing education site, that first site, first to enroll. Or if you can't find that for some reason, it is linked from the VPR Services website, from the Research Learning Library. You should be able to get to it that way. Or send me an email and I can sign you up for the course if you can't find it yourself. So lots of ways for you to find that if you need to. So once you go to that Learning Library page, you'll have a few different options of things that you can log into. Of course, we've got your Human Research Required Training page, which is the one that we had launched previously, but now we have launched this other course called the Human Research Self-Service Learning and Aids, and that's the one that we're going to be talking a little bit more about today. Unfortunately, the animal research one there is just a placeholder for the time being. That's a little sneak preview of good stuff to come in the future. But what you want to do is click on this Human Research Self-Service Learning and Aids box here in the Learning Library. That'll take you into the course here. If you have not enrolled in the course in the past, you'll have a little blue enroll button right there that you can click on. And it will ask you to log in, or you can log in at the top right-hand corner up there where it says login. You can, if you've already got an account with the required research course, you will already be in the system to use your UTESCA username and password for that. Please, when you do log in, use just your UTESCA username and not your entire email, because it won't let you in if you put your entire email in there. If you have not already enrolled in the Human Research Required Training course, You can let us know that you need an account to use your Utusca login, or you can self-log in yourself, self-enroll yourself if you don't want to necessarily use your Utusca login information. All right. And I'm going to stop this sharing for a second, and I'm going to go right over to the live website. One moment. All right, hopefully now you all can see again, the Human Research Self-Service Learning and AIDS course there. This particular version says you are enrolled because my test student is enrolled. Once you have enrolled, up here you can see that I'm logged in as test student 2 at the top. This will show whatever your login information is. You can hit this little down arrow and go to Canvas from there, and that will take you right into the course. One moment, it'll come up. So there it will show all of the courses that you're enrolled in through the Canvas CE. Today we're looking at the self-service course. When you click on that, it'll take you to this home page. And let me show you a few of the things that we have already up and running here in the course that you might be interested in. We're going to recommend that if you were a brand new person, or if you're pointing for a brand new person to find out a little bit about clinical research, human clinical research, we've set up this clinical research overview section. So all of these down here are buttons that you can click on to go to different sections of the site. If you click on the clinical research overview, it's going to bring up this little map that shows the different stages of primarily like a sponsored research trial, but really any human research trial. It's got all these different segments, starting out with your idea, or a sponsor approaches you, going through protocol and study document development. You can follow the little arrows through the process here. And any of these buttons you can click on, and it'll take you to a little bit of a little page that'll tell you a little bit about that portion of the process, and maybe some different information. This particular one, where it's talking about ideas, has some things about different types of studies. It'll describe what a phase 1 study is, or a phase 2 study, things like that. You can use this little button down at the bottom to go back to the main navigation page, click a different section, find out something different about this particular page is about IRB approval and institutional activation, and just a few little things about how a typical research study is run. Or if you don't want to use the map and go through it, go through it out of order, you can also use these little next buttons down at the bottom to go through it in order. And you can see the different pages in order that way. So hopefully that will be useful to some people. Going back to our home page, we have a few more modules that have a few things in it. We have a conflict of interest page up. Melanie and the folks from the conflict of interest office have provided us with a video and a fact sheet to help you fill out your conflict of interest declarations every year. So those are up and available for you to use. We have an informed consent page. This one's going to have a lot more stuff on it in the future. There's a slide presentation here for the basic elements of informed consent. You can, if you are a Utusca employee, you can sign in and see the live the slideshow as a PowerPoint show, or you can click on this alternative link and get it as a PDF document if you can't go through it, click through it as the slideshow. We've also linked here to our informed consent operating procedures, which has a lot of information about how to do consents. In the future, we're going to put up more little presentations and job aids so that you can quick check here. If you have somebody coming into your study, say, who can't read, it'll tell you the requirements for consenting somebody who can't read. Or if you have somebody who maybe speaks a language that you don't have your consent translated for, it'll take you through the steps of what you need to do to get those things done. Those modules aren't here just yet, but those are some of the next few things that we're planning on including here. And back to the home page again. We've got one section about reporting problems. Again, we've just kind of started building this out. We've got new personal decision-making aids. So if you have an adverse event and you're not sure whether or not it's something that needs to be reported to us, we have this decision tree to help you decide whether or not it's something that needs to be promptly reported, along with our UT Health IRB timeframes for doing that. So that's just an aid for you to come in and see if you don't remember how to do that or how to decide whether that needs to be done. That's a little something that you can access and find out that information quickly. And then finally, we do have a study documentation and record keeping module up here. This right now has some regulatory binder templates. If you're setting up your own regulatory binders for one reason or another, you need to know what sections you need to put in it. If you need some templates for things like delegation of responsibility logs, or maybe your drug or device accountability logs, those will be here. There's a couple different links for those here. So that's how to navigate those things from the home page. Let me also tell you that over here on the left-hand side, you can also access a lot of this material by going to the modules. So again, things are grouped here into the different modules of things that are available. And again, these are going to be built out over time so that you've got more information available to you. And let me also point you to what we have over here under the discussions. Again, from this menu on the left-hand side, as I mentioned, we want to build this out to be valuable resources for all of you. So we've got two discussions open in here right now. The first one is to request new resources. So you can come on here, and if there's something that you think that you need, or something that you were really confused about when you were brand new that you think would be valuable for new people, please put those suggestions in here, and we will consider those for future build outs of the information in the website. The other discussion that we have here is for you to give us feedback about what we already have up. If you find any problems or have any comments or think that something needs expanding a little bit more than what there is already there, if you find broken links, anything that, we don't want you to be frustrated with accessing this. So if you find things that need to be fixed, please let us know through this discussion board, or if you'd rather just email us, that's fine too. But there's a place here where you can give that kind of feedback here to us at the Office of Clinical Research, and we'll see if we can get that stuff fixed. All right. I think that's the main overview. That was super quick. That was only like 15 minutes of the already today. I'm trying to think of what else that there is that I might need to tell you about. I think that is most of the overview. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything that I can take at this time?
Yeah, Kristen, my comment is this is great. I think having this resource will be very, very helpful to everyone, either both seasoned and neophytes going forward. So thank you and the other OIRB folks for working on this.
Terrific. Well, thank you for that feedback. And as I say, we're planning on having a lot more here. We're just kind of in the early stages, but I hope people will come in and see what we've got and open and be able to use it and give us some feedback about what you think is going to be most valuable to you as well, and you and your teams, so that we can get that information up there, and maybe we could have it all centralized. Let me just, I'm going to stop sharing my website again here and go back to my slide presentation. Again, just to emphasize that we do want this to be something that's valuable to you, and I am reaching out to everybody who is here today to ask if you have something that you would like to contribute. Would you please share it with us? Let's see, if you have suggestions for training topics, as I mentioned, what did you not understand when you were new to research? I know that when I first started out as a research coordinator, I really virtually knew nothing, and I think that a lot of us have gone through that same thing. That one of the senior investigators said, go to the IRB and fill out the IRB website and fill out the paperwork. And we're hoping to have a little more information for people other than that on here. I mostly learned what I learned from my sponsored research monitors along the way. And we want to have that information here so that you don't have to get it from someplace outside. So, if you've been around the block a few times, try to remember back when you were new, or maybe you are newer and there's something right now that you don't understand. Please let us know what that is so that we can put that in here. So like I said, what do you need extra help with now that we can help you with? What do you need quick reminders for? That's something else I wanted to mention, is that there is a phone app also for the Canvas learning thing and the learning course. You can download the app onto your phone and get a QR code that you can use to log in, and you can access these things on your phone. So again, if you're going in to consent somebody who maybe can't see, can't hear, something like that, and you don't remember what you need to do to make sure that that person's properly consented, we want you to be able to just, pull that up on your phone from the hallway before you go in there so that you can figure out what you need to do it right. So that's another option, is that that's there for you to access this. I see we have a question from Carol that says, how does the research training on this site differ from the city course? And so Carol, this is intending to be the city course is focused on mostly human ethics and the background to making sure that you're doing things safely, but it doesn't necessarily have the exact job aids and the ways to figure out how to do things. That's what we're hoping that this is going to be, something to help you as you're on the ground and actually doing the research. If you need references, if you need some little bits of help for here and there. City's not going to talk to you about your conflict of interest here at the Health Science Center, so we're going to have very specific information about things that happen here at the Health Science Center that may not be applicable to all sites as well. So that's why we're hoping that this will be more helpful to you in that respect. Did that answer your question? I'm not hearing from Carol, so hopefully that has answered her question to some extent. So back to the slide here. Okay, terrific. Carol says that she's good. If you're experienced coordinators, experienced investigators, and you have maybe some tools or forums that you use in your research that you think are really great and you'd like to share them with some of the other coordinators, if you would like to share them with us, then we can find a place for them to go up on this website as well, on this course, so that other coordinators maybe can benefit from your experience. And we're hoping at some point here that we're going to be able to build out a little bit more of a way for you to interact with each other and find out how you do things too, so that we have a tendency to kind of be in our own individual towers here at the Health Science Center, and we like to foster a little bit more interaction between you, because there are a lot of really good coordinators out here who have a lot of good information, and that information can't necessarily be shared among all of the different departments very easily. So if you have something that you would like to share, please send it to us, and hopefully we'll be able to foster some of that interaction. If you have any resources that you find helpful, websites that you go to frequently to check on things, things of that nature, please go ahead and let us know about those too, and we'd be happy to put those up for other people to use. Which I would also let me mention. Let's see, you can't see what I'm looking at here, but in addition to the things that I already introduced here in the module, under the modules, there's actually a module that has some of the foundational documents of research ethics and the U.S. research regulations there too. So if you need a link to either the common rule, or if you just out of curiosity, if you want to look at the Nuremberg reports or the Helsinki documents, all of those are linked from this course as well, and you can find those through the module part of the app. if you need to look those up, or if you just are curious about those things. Sometimes those things can be a little bit difficult to find, so those are there as well. But any other resources that you have, we would be happy to post them and let other people get the benefit of that as well. And finally, if you are willing to do some testing or provide new feedback on new material as we are developing it, please let me know. So any of that, please email me. That's my email address there on the screen, kilpati@utusca.edu. We are looking for any suggestions, anything that you find valuable that you would like to share with anybody else, or if you have trouble finding something and we could build it for you, please let us know and we'll put it on our list. Let me just, with that, let me go ahead and say that if you have other questions for things that are research related, we are still having our research concierge service that's available. If we're doing it at the moment, not at the Briscoe Library, but still online due to the COVID situation. You can find out when those are going to happen by going to the BPR services page and scrolling down to the bottom. We have an event calendar down there, and you can find out where the upcoming when the upcoming research concierge dates are going to be. This is a little bit of an outdated picture, but down here at the bottom, you can find out when you can sign up. And if you click on that, you'll be able to sign up for a session there. Meenakshi has her hand raised. Yes, can I get what can I do for you, Meenakshi? I am not hearing you very well.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Helps. Yes, the microphone helps. Thank you.
So I was saying this is great, wonderful. I just wrote in the comment too. And what I was thinking, a topic on audit would be a good topic for research community, just to talk about internal audits and then external audits.
Fantastic. So like compliance office audits and also sponsor monitor audits, is that what
exactly? And then even talking about FDA audits.
Absolutely. I'm making notes right now so that we can go back to that. Thank you for that input. And we would be happy to put up some information on that for you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments or anything that we're open to suggestions. In the meantime, let me just again, this is a very short forum here today. Thank you for coming to hear about this, and please give us some feedback. Let me put in a quick plug for our forum for next month, which will probably be a little bit more extensive than this. We're going to be talking at the end of April about a new program that we're putting together, myself along with Danny Gordon. We're putting together a clinical trials scholars program, which is intended to help mostly clinical people who want to get into sponsored clinical trials, but maybe don't know how to navigate that space. We're hoping to put some help together for that. That's going to be an ongoing sort of a course, a meeting over the next few months, and we're going to be introducing that at the April forum. So if that's a topic that's of interest to you or to the investigators in your group, please let them know to come for that next month. Other than that, I have our contact information there for the Office of Clinical Research. Please feel free to call us or email us whenever you have a problem that you need some research help with. We are happy to help with any of that. Other than that, unless there are any more comments or questions or anything else, I will release you back to your workday.
Thank you, Krista. And I'll just remind folks they will receive a survey following the forum presentation. If you have ideas for future forums, please return that survey with ideas. And again, we'll look forward to seeing everyone in April.
Great, thanks.
Thanks for coming, everyone.